All right, welcome to the FA40 podcast. I am your host, Josh Proch, and today our topic, we're going to talk about training explosively to keep your body young. And as we get older, this is kind of something that happens to us. We lose the explosiveness in our muscles and the fast twitch fibers. We lose some of that. They start to deteriorate and things like that. So it inevitably happens to all of us, and at some point we start to notice that we feel like we've lost a step. We're just not able to move as quickly. Things like that might not be as explosive, stuff like that. And it doesn't mean that we're in bad shape. You can still be in really good shape and find that you lose that explosiveness and that ability to move fast. So we want to address this when we work out, because if we keep our body explosive, we're able to keep ourselves younger and our body feeling younger and behaving younger and acting younger and moving younger and all that sort of stuff. So the good news is that speed and quickness can be gained at any age. And let me clarify a little bit on that, though, is like at age 40 we're not going to be able to move as fast as we could at 20. And if you can, it's because at 20 you were basically an out-of-shape college kid and you weren't exercising, you were just drinking beer and eating pizza. And the same is going to be true at age 90. You're not going to be able to move as fast as you can at 40. So this is all relative, but we can still be able to move quick for our age. And again, the quicker that we can move at every age, the healthier our bodies are going to be. So this is important because speed and quickness are related to overall health, meaning that the faster we can move our body, the healthier our body is, and the less injury prone we are, and the younger that we're going to feel. So, for example, like if you're able to move quickly, you can get out of the way from a car in a parking lot that maybe pulls out in front of you or comes around a corner real quick as you're walking across the parking lot to get into a store or something like that. You're able to catch yourself when you trip over a curb or something on the ground and prevent a fall that could have resulted in injury, or I like to always say fall gracefully and not have that injury. And after age 60, falls are one of the highest death risks, and it's true that the fall may not kill you, but falling and breaking a hip and then being laid up for 6 months, that's where we see that decline in health, because now we're immobile, we're not as active, and we have 6 months, you've got half a year there without activity, and we're going to see a lot of muscular deterioration. We're going to see things deteriorate and movement ability decrease and stuff like that, and that creates the bigger health issue from that fall. So it's not the fall itself, it's the compounding effects of being laid up with that recovery period. And the other thing is typically in that state, if your body's fragile enough to break a hip when you fall, the rest of your body's probably fragile to begin with, and the health is already in a state that's beginning to decline. So like I said, when you take 6 months laid up in recovery, you have less activity, the body gets weaker, it becomes more susceptible to illnesses like pneumonia and many other things, and it could end up being that pneumonia is the cause of death, but it was a fall that led to that. But again, the good news is that we have a lot of control over this by the choices that we make and things. And I don't want you guys to get the impression either that the only reason you break a hip is from being like frail and old or something like that. I mean, you can break a hip from, there's other blunt trauma and stuff like that, but this is typically from like a fall or something like that. But we do have control over this and keeping our bodies able to move quickly and things like that. And it's basically as simple as exercising 2 or 3 days per week and focusing on strength training in those workouts. And that's going to keep your body strong. It's going to keep your body healthy. You could add a few movements to this. In fact, we recommend adding a few movements to this that focus on quickness and speed and stuff like that. And you have yourself a pretty good program there. And that's why we include what we call our jump, throw, carry circuit that includes some quick movements. And what this does is it primes the body's central nervous system by using an explosive lower body movement followed by an explosive upper body movement, and then loading the body with a carry. And the nervous system basically is what controls how fast we move. And like I said, by training it, we can improve and maintain it. So a little example of what a jump, throw, carry circuit would be is something where our jump for the lower body could be something like a speed skater. It could be a squat jump or a broad jump or jumping jacks. Some people that aren't able to jump or they're not quite ready to do jumps, we can have them doing like quick steps where they're changing weight from one foot to the other real quick, like they're stepping over a line and back real quick. It can really be geared to whatever level that the person is ready for. Our throws are typically upper body based, so we're going to do like maybe a medicine ball slam, maybe a medicine ball chest throw or chest pass. Could do overhead throws. There's a ton of different things there, and again, it's just whatever's right for you. And then our carry, doing something like farmer's carries, taking 2 kettlebells or 2 dumbbells, holding them at your side, and then just walking across the room and back, or walk for 25 yards, something like that. That would be the carry, and that would be your circuit right there. And, like I said, some people might not be able to jump or be able to do fast movements, and that's okay, because you don't have to jump. We just need some version of something that is challenging us to move quickly. And like I said, it could be as simple as stepping over a line and back as quickly as possible with that. So again, in your workouts, train your body to move quickly, and it's basically physically, it'll stay years younger than it is chronologically, and it's going to stay a lot healthier from that and everything. So that was our episode for today. If you guys have any questions, post them, reach out to us. We'll be glad to answer them. And if there's anything that you would like to hear on a future podcast, reach out to me and let me know, and maybe we'll be able to get it in here. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts and rate and review us.